Why?
That's a great intro. Why?
Why?
Good point. Hello, this is Jonny from Funny Looking, and we're off to the ship museum. What? He says we want a ship museum.
No.
Where are we?
No, I thought it was a marine museum.
Oh, ship museum. Okay. So yeah, we were off to a ship museum. We had this museum that had a big boat outside. This is the boat here, and there was a museum itself that had history of the Dutch sailing and stuff like that, and some trading company. I don't know much about it. It was all in Dutch. I was there for the boat. I was on the boat. I liked the boat. And it's really strange being on one. It had cannons and cannonballs. And the cannonballs you see on TV are the size of basketballs. This was more the size of like oranges. You could pick up a cannonball with one hand. And they're not big, massive things. They're like small things. You just go, and it goes, ba-dum. I didn't get to shoot one. I asked. So we went exploring through the boat. And it's really strange here. There's like compartments that are really small. Like you're on top, it's all open air, and you get lower and lower in the boat, and you basically have to crawl at some points. Like the wooden bars are so low and everything's so low. I had to actually go on my hands and knees to go through a door somewhere. But the minute you got through the door, it opened up again. There was a chair, there was a window. It was really nice. But it is so strange. And if you ever wondered how they went to the toilet in a boat, wonder no more. Because right at the front of the boat, there's a little hole. You climb out the front and you shit down the hole. I think that's where the term shithole came from. And they got a rope at the front, and the rope dangles down into the water. And what you do is when you finish, you bring the rope up, you wipe your butthole with the rope, and you drop it back in the water, and that cleans it. Yeah. And they don't show you that in the movies, do they? They didn't show that in Titanic. Jack swinging from a door, and he's thinking like, you know what? I can just climb the shit rope. I choose death. So on the boat, they show also how they handle the cargo and the evolution of the pulley system. And it shows the first one, just a wooden wheel, a rope, and a package. So they showed the evolution of the pulley system in the boat as well. Like the first one was just a rope, a wooden wheel, and a package. And it says on the side 80 kilograms. So there's me pulling this thing up, 80 kilograms. And then I slowly lower it back down. And then I noticed there was like two wheels and different ways the ropes move down the line. And it gets easier as you get further down. But this guy just saw me do the first one, and he went, "Oh, he made it look easy. I can do it too." And he's got both his hands, he's really tugging. He's got his foot against the wall, really trying to move it an inch. And there's me down at the easy pulley system with one hand going, "Are you having a problem, son? Is there a problem with that? 80 kilograms, that's nothing." He was just getting more and more annoyed, going, "Ah!" We also went to some castle ruins somewhere. Again, I don't know the name of these places. I just go there. Kelly says, "Let's go." And I'm like, all right. So the castle itself was like, it was a ruin. It was a real deal ruin. There was a castle there at one point, and you could see most of it, but it got taken apart. It was like 500 years in disrepair, I think. And then they just left it. But it was interesting to see a piece of history, you know. I was up in the archery part, you know, up as high as I can go. And that was nice until we heard buzzing and then realised there was a wasp nest at the other end of the archery part. So we basically walked around these ruins and went, "Oh, look at that. That's..." They still had kind of an oven there, like from stone, that was built into the wall. And they baked the bread there, and it had the furnace and some like old wood that was burned. And it looked like it was recent enough that somebody was demonstrating it, which I would have liked to have seen. Because I had a pizza once that was made by fire. You know, they baked the dough in the flames and the logs, and it was the best pizza I've ever had. Electric ovens just don't come close to it. So there was some like interesting parts that, you know, that were still there and was probably still functional. And as we were leaving, Kelly spotted a guy, like one of the falconeers, big leather glove, bird in the arm kind of thing. And he had a bald eagle, American bald eagle, and some other birds there. I don't know what they were. I think some was some actual falcons and hawks. So Kelly wanted to go see, and she got some beautiful pictures. The eagle was beautiful, but she was also temperamental. Like the minute there was somebody else involved, she wanted to fly, and she kept trying to fly, but she was tied by leather and did loops and loops and somersaults around the guy's wrist. So before we left, we got some food there, and we were getting some basically toasties. You know, I was getting a cheese toastie, or so I thought. And Kelly got this. I don't even know, it was meat and nut sauce, and no idea what she got, but it looked like it was more complicated than mine. Bread and cheese. And the drinks came out first. I went, all right, well, there's the drinks. We'll sit down for a minute. They'll bring it out to us. 10 minutes later, she got hers. And she goes, where's his? Where's his what? Cheese toasty. Oh. Then they go, did they want ham with that? And she's like, you took his order. You wrote it down. Why are you asking? And I'm like, did they actually charge us for this? Or they charged us? Where's his cheese toasty? Oh, we'll make it right now. Gone. 5 minutes later, they come back out. White bread or brown bread. Oh my fuck. Can we just go? Let's just go. But no, we stayed there. And we saw them come out. All they came, big trays, sandwiches, every other table around me. And they went back into the kitchen. And I shouted, are they growing the fucking wheat for the bread themselves? And then, oh, what were you getting again? Oh, cheese toasty, was it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ham? No. Brown bread? No. White bread. And they go, 15 minutes later, they come back out. Oh. And he comes out, and it's some guy who looks a little too eager to run across this stone road. And he's like, oh, I've got it, I've got it. And I says to Kelly, €5. He's going to trip, and my cheese toast is going to fly through the fucking air. It's just, my life is sometimes a comedy, but mostly a tragedy. And thankfully, it came to me. And thankfully, there was enough cheese in there for me to not turn the world to ash that day. So we went to a museum. We went to a zoo. And it annoyed me. I love zoos. I love animals. But this one in particular annoyed me. Because there was like little places for the animals. And the animals are great. If they were there. And it says, the one thing that annoyed me was like it says, the red panda enclosure. Oh, Kelly wanted to see the red panda. I thought they're pretty cute. I want to see the red panda. Massive wooded area, stone fence around it. And she's looking down. And I says, well, red pandas tend to climb, don't they? They kind of go in trees. Maybe we'll look up. Nothing. Empty area. Nothing. And it wasn't just that. There was like a lot of places like that. Oh, look at this cockatoo. Oh, where is it? Gone. It was, and there was some other. I can't even remember the animals because I didn't see them. But there's a lot of places like that. Hey, look at that. Where? I mean, I was waiting for like an out to lunch sign for the thing, and it turns out to be a guy in a suit zipped up at the back. But we did get some great pictures. I think Kelly's got pictures of penguins. I love penguins, and we were in this kind of place that had like a raised platform for the penguins and a lot of water at the bottom they could swim in. And we had a little platform outside that was dropped down, but a little window up top that we could step up to, and we were on the platform of the penguins, and there was two of them coming over to see us, and I think these ones were emperor penguins, so they're just over a metre tall, like almost a metre and a half, and they came closer to us, like right to the glass, and I was over to see them, and Kelly was taking pictures, and her phone's pink. She's got a pink phone. And the penguins go, oh, pink, must be fish. Tries to eat the phone through the glass. So I don't know what the picture looks like. It might be the inside of a penguin mouth. I don't know yet. But I cannot wait to get this. And then there was a tiger. We got a tiger as well. It was big. Right against the glass as well. Trying to, show dominance. Saying like, because technically we're in their area. That's their house. And we need to, as humans, respect that. And it just kind of annoyed me a lot of the kids knocking against the glass at his big cat. That's another thing as well. When I was trying to record stuff, Kids have no situational awareness or spatial awareness or volume control or anything. They just scream. They got 2 seconds, sleep and scream. That's it. And if they're not screaming, they're crying. And if they're not crying, they're screaming. And sometimes they combine both to the super scream cry. It's nothing but noise. I had my earphones in most of the time, just listening to music to try and, center myself from all that screaming. And one time I was recording something and I thought to myself, this is perfect. No kids, no adults, so they can't be parents of kids. It is literally just me. And I look around, left, nothing. Right, nothing. Fantastic. Hit record, and from the darkness of a tunnel, of course, the second I hit that button, I swear, whether I'm in the house or I'm outside, the minute I hit the record button, that's when the chaos starts. Silence. Half an hour of silence. I think this is perfect. This is absolutely a dream time to record. Beep. Wah! Meteors fall from the sky. Helicopters above me. Honest to fuck. So I've got a bunch of pictures from the zoo as well. A lot of animals. And I'm not going to throw them all in this video. It's too long as it is. So I've got an Instagram account I'm going to link to the description. And from that, I'm going to put in every picture I've got that I like. I'm going to show you a couple here of the zoo. But if I show you everything I've got, it's going to be too long. Plus it'll turn into one of those old couple things. Plus it'll be like one of those old couple things where we invite you over and we've got one of those projectors and a click. In the next slide, we've got the penguin. In the next slide, we've got the camel. And that's when you hear snoring in the back dark corner. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I could do that as an April Fool's video though. Just, here we have the cow butthole. I'll tell you about that later. That actually comes up in another story I've got. So we get home from the zoo. And we get to bed. And Kelly, like a light, out, sleep, gone. Me, I've had a busy day and I'm kind of, decompressing. And I'm watching Mr. Ballen. And I like watching some videos like that before I go to sleep. It's kind of like a horror, crime, true story kind of thing. And it's really interesting. If you like that kind of thing, absolutely watch Mr. Ballen. Because it's not like, oh, a chair flew across the room. What could it be? Fishing wire. No, it's true stories, but he tells it in a way that leaves you hanging to the last possible moment and gives you a real explanation, and I love it so much. And I'll tell you one of them, poorly and quickly. And if you're interested, definitely watch him, because he tells it way better than me. So these two women go into an abandoned morgue, and they start to explore upstairs, and they see all the chemicals and gloves thrown on the floor and shelves, and there's nothing really of interest there. They just kind of walk to this abandoned building to see what's in there. And then they kind of go around and go, like, there's nothing really here. We should just leave. And one of them goes, no, let's go one more time around. One more time. See if there's anything here. And they go one more time around and they see a door behind a cupboard. So they pull the cupboard forward and go down the stairs from this door. And they see this big, empty, dark room. Empty all around, except for a metal cage right in the middle of the room. And a metal box right in the floor. And they don't know what this metal box is or a metal cage is for and all these bars. So they get closer to explore it. And they look under this metal box. And they see a guy's hand reaching. And it turns out it was a dead guy. And just outside the range of the guy's hand was a mobile phone. This metal box fell on this guy. And his phone fell out of his hand. And he couldn't quite reach it. He couldn't quite grasp the phone. And as he's getting to that part of the story, and I'm watching this thing on my phone in the darkness in the dark room, I see from under the phone this hand reaching towards me, and I'm like, oh, no, fucking no. It was Kelly. In her sleep, she wanted to hold my hand. But her timing of this was amazing. I couldn't see anything behind the phone. And I was getting really into the story of the phone. So, oh, the hand was reaching the phone. How did he die? Ah, yes, and I was trying really hard to just not scream because it was the middle of the night. But no, she got me. And I was like, okay, right. Put her, like, hold her hand, get her back to sleep. And then stop my heart running out my fucking mouth. So we're getting back from the train and the zoo. I think that is Rotterdam Zoo we went to. We'd been to Amsterdam Zoo, that was great. Rotterdam had like some big question marks at certain parts, like where's the animals went to. And we see this guy is a train toilet door. In UK, I've never seen a train toilet. In Netherlands, it's 50-50 chance whether you get it or not. But it's got like a button. You push a button, door opens. You get inside, push the button, door closes and locks. So this guy comes up and we're sitting near the toilet. Fingers in the door, starts pulling it apart. And I'm sitting there going, there's a button. He pushed, what? Push the button. What? There's a see the button with the key on it. Opens the door. So he goes inside, goes, oh. So he's pissing. And he's holding the door with his other hand, trying to push it as he's pissing. And I says, there's another button behind you. Huh? Yeah, there's a button behind you. Oh. Tries to push the button as he's holding the door, and he starts going, falls backwards, falls into the button as he falls backwards, and the door closes, and you just hear, no! He comes out of the toilet with a wee questionable wet patch. He might have fallen into the sink to give him some benefit of the doubt, but it was just like, how did you get so far in life? How did you get this old and not figure out buttons? So it's mine and Kelly's 5-year wedding anniversary, and we are travelling all over Netherlands. And we went to this kind of a live, she calls it a live action museum, where the people kind of like role play and give information about like the medieval life. And when we went there, it was Romans. I wanted to see the Celtic side and the Vikings and stuff, but we got Romans. But at the same time, they created some of the most advanced military tactics at the time. And we saw the turtle. They got the shields. And they had actual archers shoot arrows at the shields, and we watched them fly and bounce all over the place. It was amazing to watch that part. But we also saw some of the other side of things. Somebody actually made Roman jewellery, and it was to, what was it she says? Something about like promoting fertility. And I says to Kelly, are you sure you don't want some earrings? No, I don't want those earrings. Why not? Because they're cocks. 2 cock earrings again. Who's going to buy that? Who's going to wear that on a night out? Oh, look at these. Oh, I got Pandora, I got Cartier, I got cocks. Oh, fucking hell. But we also saw this guy who, it's these 2 cows, or ox, I think they were called, oxes. And I've never seen something that big in my life. They were giant because the guy says in Scotland, the cows we get have short legs but big bodies. And he explains it to me like this. This is amazing. Our oxes have longer legs but the same bodies as your cows. But when you chop it all up, it fits in the freezer all the same way. Yeah, and I'm looking at the poor guy. And a picture here of him, James and Isaac, I think they were called. He says they were after James Watt and Isaac Newton. So he's telling me the story about how you can cut them up and put them in the freezer. And one of them turns and looks right at me like, please help me. See, I'm vegetarian as well. I don't care if other people eat meat. I'm not one of those, like, oh, you're eating meat in front of me kind of guys. I'm vegetarian because it's my choice. You eat meat because it's your choice. As long as the animal gets respectful treatment. It's nature. You can't help it. But it's just hard for me to look at this thing and think that would look great between 2 buns. Speaking of buns, I don't know. Like, the guy knew a lot about the cow, the ox. And he's telling me about the type of foot they have. They say they use horses in the lower parts of Scotland because it's all roads and cities there. And in the higher parts, they use the ox because of the type of the foot they have that helps them in the highlands and the mountains and the rough areas. And it's like 30 degrees here right now. It's hot. Like, you probably do see the sweat come off me. And I was saying, like, how do these guys cope with the heat? And he says something about they're part Spanish or they're from Spain and they can handle the heat quite well. And he says, if you look at his testicles, you can see he's quite cold because they're kind of. I wasn't particularly looking at his testicles, to be honest with you. And then he goes like, oh, they also wouldn't handle Scotland so well because it's all like in the Highlands, it's all midges they're called, or horseflies or something, you know. And I went, honestly, yeah, they'll eat you alive. There's fucking millions of them. They come out and they drink your sweat from your eyeballs, kind of stuff. And he says something. I don't know why it got to the subject, but he walks over, barefoot through cow shit, lifts this guy's tail up and goes, look at that butthole. Absolutely no hair anywhere on it. Yeah, listen, man, I've not had breakfast yet. A shaved cow's butthole was not in my agenda today. I'm going to be honest with you. I come here so I can find stories to talk about my videos. Shaved cow, hairless, butthole are words that are in my vocabulary. But never did I think they'd be in that fucking order. I didn't take a picture of that for you. If you're saying thank you to me, hit me a like in the video for not taking a picture of shaved, hairless cow butthole. But no, it was really adventurous. I've seen a lot, but, you know, I took a lot of pictures, and I think I'm going to just point you to my Instagram and say, here they are. Save me from talking about each and every individual picture here, and then just go, boom, there it is there. So for the people who follow me for gaming, I've got basically 2 hours of Sonic recorded that I'm going to have to try and break up into smaller parts. I kind of went a bit too. I forgot I was recording the video and just kept playing my game, you know. And then I finished it and got 2 hours, and I was like, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to be able to upload 2 hour video, so I'm going to have to find a way to break it in smaller parts. So you're going to have that for a while. If you like Sonic, if you don't, I've nothing else planned for now. But I've got like a little time of holiday left, and I'm going to see more places and do more things. So maybe there'll be something else. If I don't die of heat stroke and dehydration, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Shaved hairless cow butthole.